So you have been basically immersed in digital for quite a long time. Okay. So where did that interest arise from? Like, why did you get into digital? Was it because your grandmother told you to? Was it because your professor was inspiring? What was the inspiration to get into digital?
I will give you the honest answer to the question because I like you already. So I went to school with a major in advertising management, and so this was the mid 90s, and all of my professors were former agency heads, and they showed us the Volkswagen campaign they created, the McDonald's campaign they created, and I said, this is awesome. I then discovered that it's very difficult to pay off your student loans as a creative, unless you are one of the very, very few that make it very, very far. And so I kind of transitioned my major over to the management side. So client management, account management. But what we learned predominantly were things like how to research the full page rate of a magazine in this periodical that listed full page ad rates for magazines. We learned that there were these things called computers that you could do like multimedia things on, like CD-ROMs and stuff. But, I thought I was going to, go and write the next great Volkswagen commercial. And so I graduated on May 23rd, 1999, and sort of contextualize where the world was at that point. It was kind of like the crux of the dot-com boom. And so on May 24th, I got a phone call from a recruiter who said, I saw your resume on monster.com. And I work for this advertising company. Are you interested? And I said, am I interested? And I didn't know the first thing about digital advertising. And I got in and I took the job because why wouldn't you? And it was my first job out of school. And they said, well, what do you want to make? Like, what's your salary requirement? And I was like, in the HR person's office in real time doing the math of, well, my rent is this. And so if I have a budget of $100 a month for groceries, then here's what I need to make. And they said, great, you're hired. And so I became wedded to digital advertising. And over the course of the 23 years that followed, I've done a bunch of it. I did it for DoubleClick way back when. I did it for BrightRoll, which was sold to Yahoo, which is in video advertising. Millenial Media, as you mentioned, sold to Verizon. Mobile advertising. And, I think I worked really hard over the last couple decades trying to solve the problems that the industry has created for itself, starting on the supply side. And then about 5 or 6 years ago, I said, I've solved all I'm going to solve from the supply side. I got to get to where the money is actually being spent. And so I moved to the demand side, hoping to help solve many of the challenges that the industry has from the point of view of the people who are spending the money.